Hi everybody, Dan Illman and Mike Beer. The feature race at the Big A on Sunday is the Bay Ridge Stakes for New York bred fillies and mares. They're going a mile and an eighth card. It is race number 7. You can play this race and this card with a DRF Bets account. Sign up at bets.drf.com. Immediately receive a 300% deposit match. Let's meet the field of Empire bred fillies and mares going a mile and an eighth. Your morning line favorite, and deservedly so, is the number 8 Bonita Bianca, who ran away and hid from fellow statebreds in the Empire Distaff 2 starts back. Last time out, they tried a tough spot. The grade 3 go for wand. There are no Marley's Freedoms in the Bay Ridge. Plus, I don't really think Bonita Bianca looked very comfortable down on the rail on the far turn. I'm willing to draw that race out, and she probably trips out nicely under Jose Lozcano. Are you worried about the distance?
No, I'm really not. I mean, I know that since she's come back this year in Jason Service's barn, he started out sprinting, and it felt like she took a step forward going those shorter distances, but this is a filly who's always been just fine going longer. She was a good 2-year-old going longer. She was a good 3-year-old going longer. And she showed 2 starts back in the Empire Distaff that she's a good 4-year-old going longer. She just absolutely throttled that field. She has more tactical speed now than she used to have. I mean, any way you look at this race, and there are some good horses in here, she is way the horse to beat.
Second choice on the morning line is the number 5, Split Time. Junior Alvarado has them out. No match for Bonita Bianca in the Empire Distaff, but I thought she ran well. She had to split horses 5 wide turning into the stretch. She was just outpaced, but I thought she was easily second best to the favorite that day. And then they tried a tough spot. The grade 3 Comely last time out, and that just didn't work out for her. I like getting her back around 2 turns. I think that that's a real plus for Split Time. She's a real solid, honest horse. I wouldn't be surprised if she runs well, but I wonder if she's best played underneath an exactas and triples.
Yeah, I mean, listen, she's certainly a contender in this race, and she did run fine that Empire Distaff, as you mentioned. She was wide in that race, clearly second best, never got anywhere near Bonita Bianca in there, but she was clearly second best. I don't care about the Comely last time. That spot was too far for her. I'm not as confident as you are with her going longer. I sort of like her more as sort of a 1-turn mile kind of horse. She won around 2 turns at Finger Lakes. She was very close in the Fleet Indian distances at Saratoga, but that was one of those races that came down to like a 4 or 5 horse photo at the end. I'm not sure she's as good going this long, but she's a good horse for sure.
Well, let's take a look at the Timeform US Pace Projector, because we're not expecting a ton of speed in this race. The 2 Frosty Ann, or at least the old Frosty Ann, would be able to make the lead. She is adding blinkers for Rudy Rodriguez. That should sharpen her speed. She is stretching out from a 1-turn mile to a mile and an eighth. That should sharpen her speed. And I think she's a true 2-turn horse.
Yeah.
It took them a long time to stretch her out around 2 turns, but I believe she's won her last 4 2-turn starts. My main problem with Frosty Ann is this. She has been a major problem behind the gate in her last 2 races. She basically dumped Alvarado last time. They had to put a blindfold on her. I don't think she broke badly. I mean, it's a stumbled start. I think she kind of just took like a little bobble out of the gate, and then she had every chance to win and didn't. When you see a mare that's gone to the post 34 times, and all of a sudden they don't break, is it a sign they don't want to do it anymore?
Yeah, especially for a filly like her who's always been a speed. She was a speed when they sprinted her, she was a speed when they routed her, and all of a sudden she can't seem to make the front anymore. That's a real concern to me. She has races on the go back that would make her really tough in this race, but I don't like her recent form. I feel like Rudy's putting the blinkers on because he wants her on the lead again. He's also probably putting Ruben Silvera on because he wants her on the lead again. Ruben will be aggressive with her. She makes the front and she runs her best race. I guess she's dangerous, Dan. I don't like her in this race.
Down towards the inside is the 1 Unbridled Adventure. Noteworthy that this horse is 4 for 4 at a mile and an eighth, and wouldn't mind a little bit of moisture on the racetrack. We had a lot of rain on Friday. Not sure if that will carry over into Sunday's racing. She's also in good form as Unbridled Adventure. If you look at her last 5 main track races, you've got 4 wins in a second. Just a little bit slower than some of these others, but she's a hard hitter.
Yeah, that's the real problem with her. She just hasn't run a race that's fast enough to beat a field like this, but she shows up every time. She likes the distance. She's got the rail, and she'll probably get a good trip in this race. We'll see if she can pick up a piece.
I think Twist beat a couple of these last time out in December the 9th, and I liked the way she did it in only her 2nd start of the form cycle for the underrated Terra Nova barn. Didn't break well. Must have been 5 path on the back stretch all the way through the turn, and she was real game to run down those horses in the end. Mile and an eighth, no sweat. She won at 2 turns in Saratoga. Something tells me you like her a little better at shorter.
I do like her going shorter, but you're right. She did win around 2 turns at Saratoga. It was a slow race. It was an extremely weak field, non-winner one New York bred race, but she did get it done. I think she's a little better going shorter. On the other hand, the last race, probably the best race she's ever run.
I like the work that Out of Orbit did 2 starts back over a sloppy track at a 1-turn mile, just really being game in between horses, mostly confidently handled by Luis Saez. That step up that you've mentioned a lot of times from the state-bred 1X to the 2X, that is a big hike in class. And Out of Orbit had the lead coming into the lane, only to be run down by Pink Twist. Would you consider that a bad loss, or do you think this filly is still in good form? Either way, this distance could be a problem.
Yeah, I think she ran fine last time. I'm really worried about her stretching out in this race. I mean, I don't know how far she really wants to go, Dan. It feels like in this race, if nothing else, she'll be a pace presence. I think they will go forward with her. I don't know if she wants to go this far.
Held Accountable's real sharp for Phil Serpy right now. This filly's taken 2 in a row, including a win over this 1.125 distance, albeit in an off-the-turf race. I love her versatility. She just has to run a little faster.
She does. One thing I do like about her, Dan, is she looked like a really good 2-year-old. All three of her dirt starts as a 3-0. She won on turf as well. They were good performances. And then she came back off the layoff this year, and it felt like she couldn't run anymore. All of a sudden, it feels like maybe she's starting to find herself again. I liked her win 2 starts back at a 1-turn mile. She got it done last time. She was passed in the stretch. It looked like there was no way she was going to win, and she managed to battle back and win that race. I think she'll have to do better than that in this spot, but I like the direction she's heading in. I've always liked this horse.
Admittedly, the 6 Pride of Saratoga is an unlikely winner on paper, but if you want to say that A, she didn't like the sloppy track last time out, she's never won over a wet track. 2, 6 furlongs, 2 starts back, probably not her best game. The race 3 starts back, she ran okay, but was beaten at 1-2. I don't know, she caught an inside speed favor in track at Fairgrounds, and the Jack better be right. I mean, you're really picking apart, looking for the good race, and the last win resulted in a 63 buyer. She just might be too slow.
Yeah, she looks like a horse who, if nothing else, she likes 2-turn races. You don't have to worry about that stuff. I just wonder if she's good enough against horses like this.
Listen, Bonita Bianca is the horse to beat if she runs back to the Empire Distaff. Let's take a look at our top picks for the Bay Ridge Stakes. You're going that way with Bonita Bianca. I'm just taking a simple flyer with the 4, No Hain, No Gain, who got a confidence boost 2 starts back at Belmont, going a mile and a 16th when dropped in for the 35 tag. She has been stuck in the state-bred 2X condition forever. I really like the ride this apprentice gave her last time out. I mean, she took a little bobble coming out of the gate. She was in and among horses, but when the rail opened up in the stretch, she shot on through, and it looked like she had a big shot at it at about the 16th pole, and it's kind of been No Hain, No Gain's story, right? She doesn't get it done when it counts. I'm hoping that she can sit a little bit of a moderate trip here. The last time she ran 2 turns, you have to go all the way back to February of 2017. It was a maiden win. This is a reach to be sure, but she'll be a price. I'm definitely using a lot of Bonita Bianca.
It just feels like Bonita Bianca's way the horse to beat here. I couldn't find a way to play against her. I've always been a fan of No Hain, No Gain. She's lost to me a little bit. She's got races, though, that would give her a chance. I've always been a fan.
You're going 8, 5, 7 in here. Bonita Bianca will be tough. I'll go 4, 8, 2, and 3 in the $100,000 Bay Ridge Stakes, the feature race at the Big A on Sunday. Play it with a DRF Bets account. You won't be sorry when you count on that 300% deposit match. Bets.drf.com is where you need to go for all the details, and approximate post time is 3:47 Eastern. Good luck.